Silent victories. The holographic display flickered in the dimly lit laboratory as Dr. Maya Patel reviewed the latest data streaming in from Earth's clandestine sensor network. The information confirmed what she had suspected for months. The Galactic Confederation wasn't merely dismissive of primitive species, they were systematically exploiting them. Scattered across her workspace, quantum processors hummed quietly, processing vast amounts of encrypted data that the Confederation believed far beyond humanity's technological capacity. They would have been shocked to learn that Earth had cracked their supposedly unbreakable encryption protocols within months of first contact. Maya's dark eyes reflected the soft blue glow of the holographic displays as she composed her report for the United Earth Council. Confirmation of pattern Alpha 7, she wrote. Confederation vessels detected harvesting resources from 3 protected systems. Indigenous populations showing signs of engineered technological regression. The laboratory door whispered open, admitting Admiral Chen Wei, his weathered face bearing the careful neutrality that had become second nature to Earth's leadership since first contact. The Confederation's Oversight Committee is requesting another inspection of our lunar facilities, he announced without preamble. Maya nodded, already pulling up the carefully crafted facade they maintained for such visits. The holographic overlays are ready. They'll see exactly what they expect. Primitive fission reactors and basic ion drives. Nothing that would concern them. And the quantum core. Shifted into parallel space the moment their ships enter the solar system. As far as they're concerned, we're still struggling with basic superconductor technology. Maya allowed herself a small smile. They're so convinced of their superiority that they don't even conduct detailed scans anymore. Pride is making them sloppy. The Admiral's expression remained grave. Pride comes before a fall, Dr. Patel, but we must ensure it's not our own. The Confederation's latest directive requires all developing species to submit their research for approval before implementation. They're tightening the noose. Maya brought up another holographic window, this one showing the status of Project Oracle. Scattered across Earth's solar system, quantum sensors monitored every fluctuation in subspace, building a complete picture of Confederation ship movements and communications. The project had been operational for 3 years, and in that time, they had mapped every secret installation, every hidden fleet, every clandestine meeting. They think they're shepherding us, Maya said, her voice tight with controlled anger. In reality, they're creating a galaxy-wide system of technological apartheid. The data is clear. They've been doing this for millennia. Any species that shows too much promise too quickly is contained. Admiral Chen studied the data scrolling past. And the others, the species they've already subjugated. Maya brought up another display, this one showing dozens of worlds marked with pulsing red indicators. Stripped of resources, their development artificially stunted. The Confederation maintains just enough technology on these worlds to extract what they need. The populations are kept docile through carefully controlled information and technology distribution. Like giving steel tools to a Stone Age society, but never teaching them how to make steel themselves, the Admiral mused. Exactly. But they made one critical mistake with humanity. Maya's fingers danced across the holographic interface, bringing up their own technological development curve. They assumed our apparent technological level reflected our actual capabilities. They never considered that we might choose to appear less advanced. The Admiral allowed himself a small smile. The advantage of being underestimated. How long until the quantum network is complete? 3 months. Once it's operational, we'll be able to communicate instantaneously with any point in the galaxy, completely undetectable by Confederation sensors. More importantly, we'll be able to reach out to other suppressed species without the Confederation's knowledge. And the defense grid. Maya brought up a new simulation. Ready, but hidden. The moment they realize what we've done, they'll try to stop us. When that happens, she let the sentence hang. Admiral Chen nodded gravely. We'll be ready, but we have to time this perfectly. Too soon, and we risk them uniting against us. Too late, and more worlds will suffer under their control. There's something else, Maya said, pulling up a final set of data. We've detected unusual energy signatures from several supposedly primitive worlds. I don't think we're the only ones playing this game. Other species may have also learned to hide their true capabilities. Potential allies, or at least others who understand the true nature of the Confederation. We've begun reaching out through secure quantum channels. So far, 3 species have responded. They'd been waiting for someone to challenge the status quo. The Admiral studied the information thoughtfully. Keep monitoring the situation. We need to be absolutely certain before we make our move. The Confederation has ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. They won't give up their power easily. Maya's expression hardened with determination. No, they won't. But they've never faced a species that was prepared for them. While they've been watching our skies for warships, we've been building something far more powerful: knowledge, understanding, and most importantly, allies. A soft chime indicated another Confederation vessel entering the solar system. Admiral Chen straightened his uniform. Time to put on another show for our esteemed overlords. How long do you need to secure the sensitive equipment? Already done, Maya replied, her fingers dancing across the holographic controls. As far as their sensors are concerned, this is a simple atmospheric research facility. They'll see exactly what they expect: a primitive species struggling to understand basic orbital mechanics. As they prepared for the inspection, both knew they were playing a dangerous game. But the alternative, accepting the Confederation's artificial restrictions, watching them strip Earth of resources while keeping humanity technologically stunted, was unthinkable. The price of freedom was eternal vigilance, and humanity had learned that lesson well. What the Confederation would soon learn was an equally important truth: the most dangerous opponent isn't the one who shows their strength, but the one who bides their time, gathering knowledge, building alliances, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The game was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. The art of deception. The quantum display in Maya's lab projected the 3-dimensional map of the galaxy, countless points of light representing both Confederation worlds and those deemed developing. What caught her attention, however, were the dark spaces between. Regions where the Confederation's influence seemed conspicuously absent. "They're getting suspicious," Admiral Chen announced as he entered the lab, his usual composed demeanor showing slight signs of strain. "The Oversight Committee is requesting additional inspections, weekly now instead of monthly." Maya's fingers traced a pattern through the holographic stars. They've noticed the power fluctuations from the Jupiter facilities. "No, but they're asking questions about our mining operations in the asteroid belt. Apparently, we're extracting resources too efficiently for our supposed level of technology." A quiet chime interrupted their conversation. Another quantum encrypted message from one of their hidden allies. The Selenites, a species that had fooled the Confederation for centuries by appearing to be simple lunar dwellers, had confirmed what Earth's intelligence suggested. The Confederation was preparing for a major operation. "They're accelerating their timeline," Maya said, bringing up the latest data. "Look at these energy signatures. They're mobilizing their fleet, but trying to make it look routine." The Selenites' deep space sensors detected quantum wake signatures consistent with mass fleet movements. The Admiral studied the data, his expression darkening. "How long?" 3 months, maybe 4. They're gathering their forces slowly, hoping we won't notice. The Confederation has never faced serious resistance before. They prefer to crush potential threats before they develop the capability to fight back. Then we move up our own timeline. The Admiral's voice was firm. "How soon can the quantum network be fully operational?" Maya brought up the project status. "We can have it ready in 6 weeks, but..." She hesitated. "There's a risk. A rapid deployment might be detected, even with our stealth measures. A calculated risk we'll have to take. What about the other species we've contacted?" The holographic display shifted, showing a dozen worlds scattered across the galaxy. Points of light pulsed with varying colors, indicating different levels of technological advancement, all of them carefully hidden from the Confederation. The Selenites are fully committed. The Aquarians have agreed to provide support, though they're still cautious. The Nexus Collective is still deliberating, but their quantum signatures suggest they're preparing their own defensive systems. Maya's hands moved through the display, highlighting various sectors. Most importantly, we've confirmed that at least 15 other species have been maintaining facades similar to ours. Some have been doing it for centuries. Admiral Chen allowed himself a grim smile. The Confederation's greatest fear, a coordinated resistance. They never considered that their oppression might unite their victims. Maya brought up another display, this one showing the status of Earth's hidden defense grid. The latest test results from the quantum shield array are promising. We can protect not just Earth, but our entire solar system. The technology can be shared with our allies. A warning light pulsed softly. Another Confederation vessel entering the solar system. But this time, something was different. Maya's fingers flew across the controls, analyzing the readings. "This isn't a regular inspection vessel," she said, her voice tense. "The quantum signature is all wrong. They're using active scanning arrays, far more powerful than anything they've shown us before." The Admiral moved to another console, already sending encrypted alerts throughout the solar system. "Can we maintain the deception?" "Yes, but..." Maya's eyes narrowed as she studied the incoming data. "They're specifically targeting our quantum frequency bands. They suspect something, but they don't know exactly what they're looking for. Which means we've still got the advantage." The Admiral activated his secure command link. "Initiate Protocol Omega. All facilities. Full deception protocols. Let's show our visitors exactly what they expect to see." Throughout the solar system, humanity's true technological achievements shimmed into parallel space, replaced by carefully crafted hollows. Primitive facilities that matched the Confederation's expectations. Power signatures were masked, quantum communications ceased, and Earth once again appeared to be exactly what the Confederation believed. A young, struggling species barely reaching for the stars. But beneath this carefully maintained facade, humanity's real work continued. In hidden facilities throughout the solar system, quantum computers processed vast amounts of data. The defense grid, invisible to conventional sensors, stood ready. And most importantly, the quantum network continued to expand, connecting more and more allied species in a web of instantaneous, undetectable communication. Maya watched as the Confederation vessel began its scan of the lunar facilities. They're being thorough this time, looking for any sign of quantum technology. "Let them look," the Admiral replied. "Every scan, every inspection gives us more data about their capabilities. They think they're hunting primitive prey, but they're really showing us their own limitations." A new alert appeared on Maya's display, a message from the Aquarians. Their deep space sensors had detected something troubling. The Confederation wasn't just gathering its fleet. They were activating ancient weapons platforms, systems that hadn't been used in millennia. "They're preparing for war," Maya said quietly. "Not just against us, but against any species that might resist them." "Then we'll give them one," Admiral Chen replied, his voice hard. "Not the kind they expect. Not fleets of ships and energy weapons. We'll fight them with information, with technology they don't understand, and with alliances they never saw forming." Maya nodded, already calculating new possibilities. "The quantum network will be ready in 4 weeks. The moment it's activated, we can coordinate with all our allies simultaneously. The Confederation won't be able to stop the flow of information, the sharing of technology. And that's what truly terrifies them," the Admiral said. "Not our weapons or our ships, but the idea that their carefully maintained hierarchy might crumble, that the species they've oppressed might rise together." As the Confederation vessel continued its scans, Maya and the Admiral watched their deception hold firm. But both knew they were approaching a crucial moment, one that would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of countless species throughout the galaxy. The art of deception was about to give way to something far more powerful: The art of revolution. Breaking point. The emergency alert came at 300 Earth Standard Time. Maya was still in her lab, reviewing quantum network diagnostics, when every display simultaneously flashed red. The Confederation wasn't just sending inspection ships anymore. They had dispatched a full battle fleet. They know. Admiral Chen's voice came through the quantum link, perfectly clear despite the Confederation's attempts to jam conventional communications, or at least they suspect enough to act. The Selenites' deep space array detected 37 capital ships dropping out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kuiper Belt. Maya's fingers flew across the holographic controls, bringing up tactical displays. The Confederation fleet was advancing in standard attack formation, but something about their approach seemed off. "They're being too obvious," she muttered. "This isn't their usual subtle approach." "Because it's a distraction," the Admiral replied. "Check the quantum wake signatures in the asteroid belt." She shifted the display, and her breath caught. Hidden behind sophisticated stealth fields, a second Confederation force was attempting to slip through Earth's defensive network. Had humanity truly been the primitive species they pretended to be, the maneuver would have been completely undetectable. "They're targeting our quantum research facilities," Maya realized, analyzing their trajectory. "The ones we let them think they didn't know about." "How long until the network is ready?" Maya checked the status indicators. 20 minutes to full activation. "But sir, if we bring it online now, we'll lose the element of surprise," he finished. "But if we wait, we risk losing everything. Send the alert to our allies. It's time." Throughout the solar system, hidden facilities began powering up. The quantum shield grid, invisible until now, hummed to life. In deep space, automated defense platforms emerged from parallel space, their existence previously unknown even to most of Earth's military. The Confederation fleet's sensors registered the changing energy signatures. Their advance slowed, then halted as they tried to make sense of what they were detecting. Their intelligence had suggested Earth might have some hidden capabilities, but nothing like this. Maya opened a channel to the approaching fleet, using their own supposedly secure frequencies. "This is Dr. Maya Patil of Earth Command. Your presence in our solar system constitutes an act of aggression. Withdraw immediately." The response came quickly, thick with familiar condescension. "This is High Commander Vex of the Confederation Fleet. Your species has violated multiple development protocols. Prepare to be pacified." Maya allowed herself a small smile as she activated the quantum network. Across the galaxy, dozens of species previously thought primitive or controlled suddenly established instant communication. The network that humanity had built in secret became a galaxy-spanning web of resistance. "High Commander," Maya replied, "I don't think you understand the situation. We are not asking for permission. We are giving you a warning." The Confederation fleet launched their first attack, a barrage of energy weapons that, according to their intelligence, should have overwhelmed any defenses a primitive species could have developed. The quantum shields absorbed the attack without strain, converting the energy into power for Earth's defensive systems. "Impossible," the High Commander's voice had lost its condescension, replaced by something close to fear. "Our scans showed no signs of this technology." That was rather the point. Admiral Chen cut in, his voice calm. "You see, High Commander, while you were busy ensuring we remained primitive, we were learning. Not just about technology, but about you. Your patterns, your weaknesses, your arrogance." The quantum network pulsed with activity as more species joined the resistance. The Aquarians revealed their true cities, vast technological marvels hidden beneath seemingly primitive ocean settlements. The Selenites activated defense systems they had concealed for centuries. Across the galaxy, carefully maintained facades fell away, revealing technologies and capabilities that the Confederation had never suspected. "This is your final warning," Maya announced, not just to the fleet before them, but to the entire Confederation leadership through their own secure channels. "Withdraw your forces, not just from Earth, but from all worlds you've subjected to your protection. End the technology restrictions. Stop the resource exploitation. You don't understand what you're doing. The High Commander replied, his voice urgent now. The restrictions exist for a reason. Without our guidance, without control, without your control, species will develop naturally. Maya cut him off. They will innovate, create, and yes, sometimes they will make mistakes. But they will learn from those mistakes, just as we have. The secondary Confederation force chose that moment to launch their attack on the Jupiter facilities. They found themselves trapped in a quantum containment field, their weapons and engines powerless. Your stealth technology is impressive, Admiral Chen commented mildly, but it rather relies on us not being able to detect quantum wake signatures, doesn't it? Across the galaxy, more Confederation fleets found themselves in similar situations. The species they had dismissed as primitive revealed defenses and technologies that matched or exceeded their own. The carefully maintained hierarchy of power began to crumble. You have 1 hour to withdraw, Maya announced. After that, we will begin actively dismantling your control systems. The quantum network cannot be jammed, cannot be traced, and cannot be shut down. The technology will be shared with any species that wishes to free themselves from your protection. The next few minutes were tense as the Confederation leadership faced a choice they had never encountered in their millennia of dominance. Their carefully constructed system of control was collapsing around them, and for the first time, they faced unified resistance from species they had thought safely suppressed. Finally, the High Commander's voice returned, all pretense of superiority gone. We will withdraw. But this is not over. No, Maya agreed, watching as the Confederation fleet began to retreat. This is just the beginning. The galaxy is changing, High Commander. The only question is whether the Confederation will change with it or be left behind. As the fleet disappeared into hyperspace, Maya exchanged looks with Admiral Chen. They had won this confrontation, but they knew the real challenges were just beginning. Dismantling millennia of oppression wouldn't be easy, but humanity and their allies had proven one vital truth. The most dangerous assumption in the galaxy was that apparent primitiveness indicated actual capability. The breaking point had been reached, and there was no going back. Shifting powers. The quantum network hummed with activity as representatives from dozens of formerly suppressed species gathered in Earth's virtual conference space. Maya watched their avatars materialize, some humanoid, others entirely alien, but all united by a common purpose. 3 weeks had passed since the confrontation with the Confederation fleet, and the galaxy was transforming more rapidly than anyone had anticipated. The Confederation has withdrawn from 67 systems, Admiral Chen reported, his avatar joining the conference. But they're not going quietly. Their economic warfare has already begun. The avatar of first speaker Angstful of the Aquarians rippled with concern. They're attempting to isolate non-compliant worlds from established trade routes. Several of our outer colonies are already reporting shortages. As expected, Maya responded, bringing up a holographic display visible to all participants. But they've overlooked something crucial. Their trade routes were designed for their own convenience, not efficiency. She highlighted several sectors of space, showing new pathways between liberated worlds. The quantum network doesn't just allow us to communicate, it lets us coordinate. While they're trying to enforce their old trade routes, we're establishing new ones, more direct, more efficient. The crystalline form of the selenite elder glowed as they spoke. Our deep space sensors detect Confederation fleet movements consistent with preparation for economic blockade. They still believe they can force us back into submission through resource denial. Let them try. Admiral Chen's voice carried quiet confidence. While they're positioning their fleets, we're sharing technology. Every world they try to isolate becomes more self-sufficient. Their economic leverage decreases by the day. Maya brought up another display, this one showing the spread of quantum technology throughout former Confederation space. More importantly, we're sharing knowledge. The Confederation maintained control not just through military might, but by keeping species dependent on them for technological advancement. The avatar of Chief Scientist Zara of the Nexus Collective pulsed with agreement. We've already begun adapting Earth's quantum shield technology for our specific needs. The Confederation's attempt to demonstrate force against our orbital facilities yesterday did not go as they planned. A ripple of amusement passed through the gathering. More and more former Confederation protectorates were revealing hidden capabilities or rapidly developing new ones. The old power structure was crumbling, but Maya knew the real challenges were just beginning. "We need to discuss the emergence protocols," she said, bringing up a new set of data. "We've identified 33 species that are genuinely early in their development. Unlike us, they haven't been hiding their capabilities. We have a responsibility to handle this transition better than the Confederation did." Agreed. The Aquarian first speaker's avatar shifted colors thoughtfully. "We must find a balance between protection and oppression, guidance and control. We cannot simply repeat the Confederation's mistakes with different leaders." Admiral Chen nodded. "We've drafted a proposal for the Galactic Development Initiative. Unlike the Confederation's approach, it emphasizes transparent communication and technological self-determination. No more artificial restrictions, no more resource exploitation." The conference space filled with new data as each species contributed their own experiences and suggestions. Maya watched as the quantum network processed and organized the information, creating a framework for a new kind of galactic society. "The Confederation will not accept this easily," the Selenite elder warned. "Our long-range sensors detect unusual activity in their core systems. They are preparing something." "Let them," Maya replied, bringing up the latest defense grid status. "Their greatest weapon was always our isolation from each other. That advantage is gone. Every move they make, every technology they deploy, is now analyzed by dozens of species working together." The Admiral's avatar highlighted several sectors of space. They're already facing internal pressure. 3 of their member species have requested emergency council sessions. The facade of benevolent guidance is cracking. Their own people are beginning to question millennia of policy. "Which makes them more dangerous," Chief Scientist Zara noted. "Cornered predators often strike with desperate fury." Maya nodded, acknowledging the warning. "Which is why we're not pushing for their immediate dissolution. We're offering them a place in the new galactic order, just not the place of absolute authority they're used to." The quantum network suddenly pulsed with new information. The Confederation's response to their latest diplomatic overture was coming in. Maya analyzed the data, her expression growing serious. "They're offering concessions," she announced to the gathering. "Significant ones. They're willing to lift technology restrictions on all current member species, end resource quotas, even allow independent development under their oversight." A desperate attempt to maintain control, the Aquarian first speaker observed. "They offer freedom while still holding the leash." Admiral Chen's avatar shifted. "They still don't understand. This isn't a negotiation for better terms under their system. This is the end of their system entirely." Maya brought up a final display, a map of known space showing the rapidly changing political landscape. Former Confederation worlds now glowed with new colors, representing independent alliances and cooperative agreements that would have been impossible under the old regime. "We're not just changing who holds power," she said quietly. "We're changing the nature of power itself. The quantum network doesn't just connect us, it makes us interdependent. Every species contributes its unique perspectives and capabilities. The age of single-species dominion is over." The gathering absorbed this in thoughtful silence. They were witnessing the birth of something unprecedented in galactic history. A true coalition of equals, bound not by force or fear, but by shared knowledge and mutual benefit. The Confederation's stars burned ever dimmer on the galactic map, while new connections formed between formerly isolated worlds. The balance of power wasn't just shifting, it was being fundamentally reimagined. And somewhere in the depths of space, the architects of the old order were about to discover just how complete their miscalculation had been. The species they had sought to keep primitive had instead learned to be patient, resourceful, and most dangerously of all, cooperative. The game had changed, and there was no going back to the old rules. A new dawn. The quantum network's alert came just as Maya was reviewing the latest diplomatic proposals. The Confederation's core systems had gone dark. All conventional communications ceased, and even quantum signatures were being masked. After weeks of declining influence and mounting internal pressures, the old guard was making its final move. Multiple hyperspace signatures detected. Admiral Chen's voice came through the quantum link. They're not just mobilizing a fleet, they're moving entire battle stations. The Selenite's deep space array is tracking over 300 capital ships. Maya's hands moved across the holographic controls, sending alerts through the quantum network to all allied species. They're burning their bridges, she observed grimly. This isn't a tactical strike. It's an all-or-nothing push to restore the old order. The conference space filled instantly with avatars of leadership from across the galaxy. No need for scheduled meetings anymore. The quantum network allowed for immediate response to any crisis. Their trajectory suggests they're targeting multiple systems simultaneously. The Selenite Elder's crystalline form pulsed with urgency. They mean to strike at all major resistance nodes at once. Maya brought up the tactical display. The Confederation forces were moving in perfect synchronization, their formation designed to split the allied species and prevent effective coordination. It would have been a masterful strategy. Against the galaxy they knew. They still think in terms of spatial distances, Admiral Chen noted, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. They haven't truly grasped what the quantum network means. Maya nodded, already implementing their contingency plans. All allied species initiate protocol unity. They expect us to defend our individual systems. Let's show them what true cooperation looks like. Across the galaxy, something unprecedented began to unfold. Instead of each species attempting to defend their own territories, they executed a carefully coordinated response. Quantum shields from Earth's design merged with Aquarian energy matrices. Selenite sensor arrays linked with Nexus collective targeting systems. Technologies that had been developed in isolation now worked in perfect harmony. The Confederation fleet encountered not a scattered resistance, but a unified defense network that spanned the galaxy. Every move they made was anticipated, every strategy countered before it could fully develop. They're launching their primary weapon, the Aquarian First Speaker reported, their avatars shifting colors rapidly. Some form of quantum disruptor. They meant it as their surprise advantage. Maya allowed herself a small smile. The weapon they've been developing in secret for the past 3 centuries. We've known about it since we first accessed their secure databases. The countermeasures are already in place. The quantum disruptor fired, a weapon designed to sever all advanced communications and technological systems across multiple sectors of space. It would have been devastating against the isolated primitive species the Confederation thought they were facing. Instead, the energy was caught in a web of quantum fields, redirected, and dispersed harmlessly into space. The combined scientific knowledge of dozens of species had turned their ultimate weapon into a spectacular but ineffective light show. They're receiving the message now, Admiral Chen reported, watching the Confederation fleet's movements falter. All ships, all battle stations, broadcasting on their secure frequencies. Maya nodded, activating the transmission she had prepared. Her voice would reach every Confederation vessel, every core world, every colony and outpost that still clung to the old order. To all Confederation forces, your attempt to restore the old regime has failed, not because you lack strength, but because you fail to understand what you're truly facing. This is not a battle between your fleet and ours. This is not a contest of weapons or technology. This is the end of an age. The age where any one species could dominate the galaxy through force or deception. She paused, letting the words sink in before continuing. The quantum network is not merely a communication system. It is the foundation of a new way of existence. Every species brings their unique perspectives, their particular innovations. We advance together, or not at all. Throughout the galaxy, more ships were appearing, not to fight, but to demonstrate the futility of continued conflict. Species that the Confederation had dismissed as primitive now commanded technologies that matched or exceeded their own. More importantly, they wielded these technologies not in isolation, but in perfect coordination. You have a choice, Maya continued. Continue this attack, and face not defeat, but irrelevance. Your weapons cannot break our unity. Your strategies cannot divide us, or join us. Not as rulers, not as conquerors, but as equals. Your knowledge, your experience, your capabilities, all are valuable, but only if freely shared, not used as tools of control. The quantum network pulsed with new information. Throughout the Confederation fleet, ships were powering down their weapons. On their core worlds, populations that had been kept in ignorance of their leaders' true actions were finally learning the truth. The age of secrets is over, Maya announced. The age of artificial constraints on development, of engineered dependency, of enforced hierarchy, all of it ends today. Not with a battle, but with an invitation. Join us in building something new. Admiral Chen's avatar shifted as he accessed the latest data. Their fleet is standing down. The battle stations are powering down. And we're receiving transmissions from 17 Confederation worlds requesting immediate admission to the quantum network. The gathered avatars of Allied leadership watched as the galactic map transformed. The rigid boundaries and hierarchies of the Confederation era dissolved, replaced by an intricate web of cooperation and mutual development. There will be challenges ahead, Maya acknowledged to the gathered representatives. Learning to work together as equals after millennia of enforced hierarchy won't be easy. Some will resist change. Others will try to create new forms of dominance. But we face these challenges united, with the combined wisdom and capability of all our species. The quantum network hummed with activity as new connections formed, new ideas were shared, and new possibilities emerged. The galaxy was entering an unprecedented era, one where advancement came not from conquest or control, but from cooperation and mutual understanding. In her lab on Earth, Maya looked out at the night sky, now alight with the quantum signatures of thousands of worlds freely communicating and collaborating. The Confederation had sought to prevent what they feared, the unconstrained development of young species. In doing so, they had instead created something far more powerful, a galaxy united by the very attempts to keep it divided. The price of underestimation had been the complete transformation of galactic civilization, and as the quantum network pulsed with the combined knowledge and creativity of countless species, it was clear that this was not an ending, but a beginning. The dawn of a new age had arrived, and its light would shine across the galaxy for millennia to come.